Stop scrolling and look closely at the coins scattered right in front of you. Today, we are revealing a select group of seemingly ordinary quarter dollars, and I can assure you with absolute certainty that one of them is worth far, far more than it looks. You might already be unknowingly overlooking a small fortune sitting right in your pocket, resting in your car's center console, or hiding in that old glass jar on your kitchen counter. In this video, we are counting down 4 specific quarters, ranked carefully from incredibly valuable to the absolute most remarkable and rare example you can find in modern circulation today. Leaving this video early means you risk missing the most important item on our list, which is the exact coin you are most likely to encounter in your daily life. Think deeply about your own pocket change, your forgotten desk drawer at work, or that inherited coin collection gathering dust in the attic. Before we reveal the first quarter in this countdown, let me ask you a question. Where do you normally toss your spare change at the end of a long day? Let me know in the comments below because that exact spot might be holding a hidden treasure. Now let us begin our countdown. Coin number 4. What if I told you that a standard, completely ordinary-looking quarter from the late 1980s could comfortably finance a major luxury vacation? We are looking at the 1987 Washington quarter, a highly recognizable coin from the modern copper-nickel-clad era of United States currency. This particular coin was produced during a fascinating time in American minting history when the national economy was incredibly robust and massive quantities of physical coinage were desperately needed to satisfy daily commercial demand. The minting facilities in Philadelphia and Denver were operating at maximum capacity, churning out hundreds of millions of these exact quarters for everyday commerce. In the late 1980s, coins were the primary engine for vending machines, public payphones, public transit systems, and massive indoor amusement arcades. Because of this incredibly high utility and constant physical handling, the minting process was heavily focused on speed and sheer volume rather than artistic perfection or careful handling. The coins were struck rapidly, dumped into massive canvas bags, and shipped out across the country to be immediately used and abused in daily commerce. Because of this brutal environment, finding one of these workhorse coins preserved in a mathematically flawless condition today is a monumental challenge for dedicated numismatists. The primary identifying detail you are looking for on this specific coin is the mint mark, which will be either a small letter P or a small letter D located on the obverse side of the coin, positioned precisely behind the ribbon tied in George Washington's hair. This specific mark confirms exactly which facility struck the coin and helps establish its baseline production history. But you must also look closely at the highest points of Washington's hair and the eagle's breast feathers on the reverse to gauge the strength of the original die strike. This coin belongs to the broader Washington Quarter Series, a foundational pillar of American currency that began all the way back in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the first president's birth. Originally struck in 90% silver, the series transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965, a monumental shift that forever changed the way collectors approached modern pocket change and established the aesthetic we still use today. The true financial value of this coin is determined by a strict, uncompromising checklist of factors. The overall state of preservation since the day it was manufactured, the absolute sharpness and depth of the original strike, the complete lack of post-mint damage or circulation wear, the visual appeal of the coin's metallic surfaces, and the current market demand among elite registry set collectors who require perfection. When you sit down to inspect this coin yourself under a good light source, you must follow a mirroring process. Carefully examine the high points of Washington's hair for any signs of flattening or friction. Check the outer rims of the coin for tiny nicks or dents. Verify that the mint mark is sharply defined and not filled with grease. Ensure the original mint luster completely covers both faces in a cartwheel pattern, and evaluate the flat background fields for any distracting microscopic scratches. Small differences in condition produce massive exponential differences in final value. A coin graded by professionals at Mint State 66 is considered excellent and carries a modest premium for its preservation. But if that exact same coin achieves a grade of Mint State 67 or higher, the financial value multiplies exponentially. The modern grading scale is entirely microscopic, meaning a single, tiny contact mark, visible only under high magnification, can separate a $20 coin from a legendary auction piece. Remarkably, these coins are still found in plausible, everyday environments, such as forgotten piggy banks from the late 80s, inherited collections stored in old cigar boxes, unsearched bankrolls wrapped decades ago, and sometimes even right in the loose change you receive from a local hardware store. Under no circumstances should you ever attempt to clean, wipe, or polish this coin yourself. Originality matters significantly more than an artificial shine, and cleaning instantly and permanently destroys a coin's numismatic value. Many people believe that older coins are automatically more valuable purely because of their age, but experienced numismatists know that true scarcity lives entirely in the state of preservation, not in the raw production numbers or the year it was struck. When a 1987 Washington quarter from the Philadelphia Mint miraculously survives this journey in a perfectly preserved state, it commands serious attention, evidenced by a documented record sale price of exactly $1,725 at a major public auction. Take a moment to check your own jars for pristine 1980s quarters, because as we move to our next item, the stakes are about to get even higher. Coin number 3. What if I told you that a piece of change celebrating the history of aviation could be worth substantially more than a first-class transcontinental flight? We are examining the 2001 North Carolina State Quarter, a highly sought-after and deeply historical release from the groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program. This coin exists to directly commemorate the great state of North Carolina and its monumental role in human history, specifically highlighting the Wright brothers' first successful powered flight at Kitty Hawk. During its initial release in 2001, the United States Mint was heavily burdened by unprecedented public interest, as tens of millions of everyday citizens suddenly became casual coin collectors overnight. This massive, unexpected public enthusiasm resulted in incredibly rapid production schedules at all Mint facilities, which inevitably led to a deterioration of die quality over time, weaker strikes, and a stark reduction in perfectly manufactured examples surviving for modern collectors. The sheer volume of coins needed to fill map boards across the country meant that pristine quality control was simply impossible to maintain at scale. The critical identifying detail to look for here is the overall crispness of the Wright Flyer airplane depicted on the reverse of the coin, particularly focusing on the delicate, tiny struts between the airplane's wings and the facial features of the figures standing on the ground. A strong, fully realized strike will show distinct, sharp separation in these microscopic elements, which is a definitive hallmark of a premier example that can command top dollar. This coin is a key component of the broader 50 State Quarters series, a revolutionary program initiated in 1999 that fundamentally transformed American numismatics. By introducing 5 new reverse designs every single year for 10 years, the United States Mint successfully encouraged the general public to closely examine their pocket change, creating a massive new generation of hobbyists looking for historical significance in their daily commercial transactions. The financial value of this commemorative quarter is determined by an uncompromising checklist of specific factors: the structural integrity of the coin's metal planchet, the depth and clarity of the intricate reverse design strike, the absolute absence of any circulation wear, the brilliant intensity of the original cartwheel luster, and the aggressive demand from competitive collectors trying to complete top-tier state quarter registry sets. To inspect this yourself, you need to closely mirror those exact factors. Look closely at the highest points of the airplane's wings for any dulling or signs of rubbing. Check the reeded edge around the coin for flattening. Verify the absolute clarity of the date and text inscriptions. Ensure the metallic surfaces shine with completely uninterrupted original luster, and evaluate both sides for any dark spotting or environmental damage caused by improper storage. The grading process for state quarters is unforgiving, showing that marginal, barely visible differences in condition dictate drastic changes in total value. An example graded as Mint State 67 is certainly a beautiful coin that many collectors would be proud to own, but the transition to a Mint State 68 or Mint State 69 classification represents a statistical anomaly that causes auction prices to surge dramatically. A single microscopic flaw in George Washington's cheek on the obverse can completely derail the coin's maximum financial potential. Unbelievably, these quarters are still found in perfectly ordinary locations, including untouched paper rolls tucked away in safe deposit boxes, estate sales of amateur collectors who aggressively hoarded them upon release, forgotten desk drawers in family homes, and occasionally resting quietly at the bottom of a thrift store jewelry box. It is absolutely imperative that you never wipe this coin with a cloth or subject it to chemical dips in an attempt to make it look newer. Originality matters far more than an artificial shine, and altering the surface will irreversibly strip away its massive premium. Many people believe that modern commemorative coins hold no premium whatsoever because billions were made. But experienced collectors know that true scarcity lives entirely in the pristine state of preservation, not in the sheer volume of the original mint run. When a 2001 North Carolina state quarter manages to miraculously escape the chaotic mint process and decades of storage in mathematically flawless condition, the market responds aggressively, highlighted by a staggering record sale price of $3,760. Go carefully check any state quarter map boards or collections you might have assembled years ago, because our next coin pushes the boundaries of modern numismatic rarity even further. Coin number 2. What if I told you that a microscopic, highly controversial mistake on an ear of corn could transform a mundane 25-cent piece into a highly prized numismatic artifact? We are investigating the 2004 Wisconsin state quarter, specifically focusing on the legendary extra leaf variety, a modern era coin that completely captured the attention and imagination of the entire collecting world. This coin was produced to honor Wisconsin's rich agricultural heritage, featuring a prominent detailed ear of corn, a large wheel of cheese, and a dairy cow. However, during the intense minting process at the Denver facility, something highly unusual and still debated occurred with one of the specific striking dies. A deep gouge or intentional modification was made to the metal die itself, creating the distinct, undeniable illusion of an extra leaf protruding directly from the stalk of the corn. The enduring controversy surrounding how and why this anomaly occurred, whether it was a deliberate, rogue act by a disgruntled mint employee or a bizarre, highly coincidental mechanical failure, has only fueled the incredible lore, mystery, and massive desirability surrounding this specific issue. The absolute identifying detail that establishes the authority and value of this piece is found solely on the reverse side, located squarely on the left side of the ear of corn. You must look for a distinct raised line of solid metal that sweeps either aggressively upward, known to collectors as the high leaf, or sweeps gracefully downward, known as the low leaf. This unmistakable, prominent extra feature is the singular reason for the coin's immense prestige in the collecting community. This coin also belongs to the broader 50-state quarters series, a revolutionary program initiated in 1999 that fundamentally transformed American numismatics. By introducing 5 new reverse designs every single year for 10 years, the United States Mint successfully encouraged the general public to closely examine their pocket change, creating a massive new generation of hobbyists looking for historical significance in their daily commercial transactions. The ultimate financial value of this famous era coin is governed by a rigorous set of determining factors: the definitive, unquestionable presence of the extra leaf anomaly, the overall state of preservation of the entire coin, the sharpness of the strike across the rest of the reverse design, the lack of circulation damage or heavy wear, and the intense, persistent demand among dedicated era coin specialists who view this as a holy grail. When you inspect this item yourself, you must execute a very specific routine. Examine the left side of the corn stalk with a strong magnifying loupe to confirm the solid relief of the extra leaf. Check the high points of the queue and cheese for dull circulation wear. Verify that the Denver D mint mark is present on the obverse. Ensure the original luster has not been compromised by heavy handling, and evaluate the open fields for any distracting marks that might lower the overall grade. The professional classification of this error perfectly demonstrates how minor physical discrepancies generate massive shifts in market value. While a heavily circulated, dirty example of the extra leaf variety still holds substantial worth just for being the error, an uncirculated specimen, certified in a high mint state grade, reaches an entirely different, highly exclusive echelon of the market. The absolute clarity of the error, combined with pristine, glowing surfaces, is what transforms an interesting oddity into a centerpiece collection item. These specific varieties are remarkably still found in everyday circulation scenarios, including tightly wrapped bankrolls, casual family change jars, inherited collections from relatives who obsessively searched their change in the early 2000s, and random cash transactions at local grocery stores across the country. You must heavily resist the urge to scrub, wash, or chemically clean this coin to make the error stand out more visibly. Originality matters significantly more than an artificial shine, and tampering with the metal instantly ruins its authenticity and value. Many people believe that spectacular, high-profile mint errors are impossible to find in regular pocket change today. But experienced enthusiasts know that true scarcity lives in the observer's careful attention to detail and condition, not in the raw production numbers of the standard coin. When a 2004 Wisconsin quarter featuring the high extra leaf error is certified in an immaculate, high-grade state of preservation, it achieves absolutely breathtaking auction results, demonstrated by a definitive record sale of precisely $6,000. Take a magnifying glass to your old Wisconsin quarters immediately, because our final and most remarkable item will fundamentally change how you view modern pocket change forever. Coin number one. What if I told you that a piece of contemporary currency minted just over a decade ago could legitimately rival the value of antique gold? We are meticulously analyzing the 2013 Mount Rushmore National Memorial Quarter, an exceptional piece of modern American currency that represents the absolute pinnacle of contemporary coin collecting today. This coin was proudly produced to honor the iconic Mount Rushmore Monument in South Dakota, brilliantly capturing the monumental sculpture of four legendary American presidents carved deep into the granite face of the Black Hills. Minted during a modern era of highly automated, incredibly fast, and technologically advanced production methods, these specific coins were struck by the millions for immediate release into the chaotic modern commercial ecosystem. Because the minting technology of the 21st century is so highly efficient and mechanized, major errors are uncommon. And finding a standard strike preserved in a mathematically flawless state is a monumental achievement that completely defies the staggering odds of mass manufacturing. The primary identifying detail you must look for on this specific piece involves a highly meticulous examination of the intricate layered details on the reverse side of the coin. You are looking for a razor-sharp, perfectly struck rendering of the rough rock formations surrounding the presidential portraits, in an absolute pristine clarity on the tiny faces of Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, and Lincoln. A top-tier museum-quality example will show absolutely no mushiness, fading, or weak striking in the deepest recesses of the granite sculpture design. This coin belongs to the Broader America the Beautiful Quarters program, an ambitious and sprawling series that directly succeeded the State Quarters Initiative and ran successfully from 2010 to 2021. By highlighting massive national parks, national forests, and historic sites across all 50 states and territories, the United States Mint continued its ongoing mission to educate the public through currency, ensuring that a new generation of beautifully designed, highly detailed miniature artworks circulated constantly through the American economy. The staggering financial value of this modern quarter is dictated by a flawless, uncompromising set of factors: the absolute, undeniable perfection of the coin's physical condition, the depth and microscopic precision of the original strike, the complete lack of any contact marks or heavy bag marks from the automated minting process, the brilliant, undisturbed radiance of the surface luster, and the incredibly aggressive competition among elite registry set collectors continuously vying for the single finest known example. When inspecting your own examples at home, you must directly mirror this uncompromising standard. Look closely at the absolute highest points of the presidential faces for any microscopic friction. Check the delicate edges of the coin for the slightest, barely visible imperfection. Verify the crispness of the tiny lettering along the rim. Ensure the original mint bloom is blindingly intact under a strong lamp, and evaluate the vast open fields of the coin under strong magnification for any hidden hairline scratches. The grading explainer for this specific coin proves once and for all that the smallest possible differences in physical condition produce the largest possible differences in financial value. A coin graded at mint state 67 is incredibly rare and highly prized, but moving up just one tiny fraction of a point to mint state 68 represents a literal 1 in a million survival rate that sends collectors into a frenzy. At this elite, highly competitive level of numismatics, a microscopic blemish completely invisible to the naked eye separates a $50 curiosity from an earth-shattering auction powerhouse. Amazingly, these pristine, flawless examples are still found in incredibly mundane locations, such as unsearched, sealed bankrolls stashed in a closet a decade ago, pristine mint sets bought directly from the government and forgotten, estate sales of modern hobbyists, and occasionally barely circulated pieces pulled directly from standard paper bank wrappers today. It is absolutely critical that you do not attempt to wash, rub, or alter this coin in any way whatsoever. Originality matters infinitely more than an artificial shine, and any physical contact with the surface will instantly destroy its perfection forever. Many people believe that coins minted in the millions just a few short years ago cannot possibly be valuable. But experienced experts know that true scarcity lives entirely in the absolute perfection of condition, not in the raw production numbers or the recent date stamped on the front. When a 2013 Mount Rushmore National Memorial Quarter from the Philadelphia Mint survives the chaotic, high-speed modern production process and achieves a perfect top-tier mint state grade from a professional grading service, it becomes a legendary modern rarity, cemented by a documented record sale price of exactly $9,000. You absolutely need to go check your modern change right now for this monumentally valuable piece of everyday currency. From late 1980s clad quarters debarred to modern national park commemoratives minted just over a decade ago, every single coin we have explored today shares one incredibly unified truth. The real differentiator between common pocket change and a hidden fortune is a small, easy-to-miss detail, whether that is a microscopic minting error or a mathematically perfect state of preservation, not just the aesthetic appearance or the sheer age of the item alone. If you want to continue uncovering the incredible hidden value hiding in plain sight around your own home, you need to subscribe to the channel right now. Turn on your notifications immediately so you never miss an important update, like this video, to help others discover these lucrative secrets, and share it with a friend or family member who always leaves their spare change lying around the house. Before you go, I have one final question for you. Which of these four incredibly valuable items surprised you the most? Or have you ever actually found one of those Wisconsin extra leaf errors yourself? Tell me your story in the comments section below right now. If you thought these everyday quarters were impressive, stop what you are doing and click the video on your screen right now, because we are revealing a completely different set of common household items that could be worth thousands. And you might have one sitting on your shelf this very second.